Greetings and welcome to the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say. So call me in a few minutes and tell them like it is. Greetings, everyone. Happy Star Wars Day, and I mean the original, not this woke bullshit that passes for sci-fi adventure nowadays, where nobody has to pay for any dues or anything. Everybody's just automatically ninja worthy and ready to fight, and the girls always beat the boys, and not even realistic. I mean, even sci-fi has to have some realism, unless you want to like portray an Amazon planet or something like that. But I mean, you know, that's not the rule. By the way, they're still flopping. Not even their target audience is paying attention or paying to watch that garbage. But oh well. All right, welcome once again. I'm ldghwih, your hostess. Thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet today. I do hope you guys have had a great week. My week has been fantastic so far, a little hectic, but when I'm busy, I feel better, I guess. And I feel like I'm at least accomplishing something. So, might not be anything, but pretty good show for you today, as you can tell by the title. I'm getting everything together. In fact, I just realized when I said that, my brain just clicked and said, "Oh shit, there's no title on Rumble." Oh well. Well, we are live over there on Rumble, also on YouTube, BoobTube, and of course on Odysee, my favorite. They're starting to get better over there. So I say it's been hectic. My hair's even still wet. All right. Let's see who we got here. It would help if I open that up. Let's see. Toasty! Welcome. Sparky the Welder. Russian Bot. Pastor Shadley, my main moderator. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know everything is on the up and up 5x5. Awesome, awesome. 07, Mike's 5x5. Great! That's the, what, fourth, maybe fifth time in a row now? Although, right before I start everything, I reset the channel. And that seems to do the trick. Paulie, it's Big Fat Paulie. Welcome, welcome. Russian Bot. That's a cute little GIF there, Mrs. Bot. For Toasty. I get it now. Okay. Drunken Rocky. Oh. Hey, oh. And, what was it? Oh, Rocky. Actually, that young gentleman just turned 79. Donald Trump chicken. The best chicken ever. House of Wangs. All right. Can Killer. Welcome. Badass Brad Allen. You're day drinking, but, well, okay. It's still daytime. The sun hasn't quite gone down yet. And Boobtown. Drunken Rocky. You guys drinking again. Gray Man. Let's see. Wow. You guys are all ahead of me before. Grizzy 2 to Max. Welcome. Best voice on Odysee. Well, thank you very much. Don't make me blush. All right, and over here on YouTube, we have Bruin Backhand. Good evening. I hope you're doing well as well. And limited access. I have my granddaughters, so I'm limited to the access. Okay. Well, hello, granddaughters, and welcome to the show. You may, if they're under 16, you may not want to let them listen, though. Well, you know, I'm not always of the best verbiage, especially when I get into a rant. F-bombs will be dropped, I'm sure. And, of course, my callers drop them, too. So, NSFW, or for children, if that's just a warning ahead of time. What do they call it? Trigger warning? But I don't think it's a trigger warning. Skeletor. Excuse me. Welcome. Went down the wrong pipe. Mr. Tizo. All right. And Ranger. All right, everybody's here. The gang's all here. I don't see anybody on Rumble yet. But let's see. That doesn't mean there ain't nobody. You don't have to talk to me if you don't wanna. I'm noticing something strange though. My Rumble numbers are actually, my followers on Rumble are actually growing faster than Odysee, and I've literally been on Odysee for way longer. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'll stay on both. I love the alts. So in fact, I plan on staying on the alts as much as I can. Same thing for YouTube until they'll kick me off or whatever like that. All right, real quick, we'll get to the plugs. 451 Actual, of course, my metal man, Pastor Chatelet, Red Dawn Radio, DJ Brandrak. Actually, I still see him over here on PilledNet, and I haven't seen him on Odysee. Where is DJ Brandrak? Is he still around? And of course, the Drunken Rocky. Make sure to go and check out the White Pill Experience after this show. I'll tell you when. It's after my show, right after my show. Raynoth, I believe he does 7 days a week now. Of course, you can check the guide. I will show that to you in just a second here. Axe Truth, DJ Bass, Kevin's Chaotic Coffee. Someone told me he's not doing a show anymore at the moment. Hopefully he'll come back. Maybe if I keep giving him good vibes and shouting him out, he'll come back and entertain us. I absolutely adore his humor. America Floats, Tom from America Floats. Woo woo! 2 Minutes to Midnight, Magical Trevor, Reverend Rant, Some Guy from Maine, Rougarou, Not Me Be, and Oomtown. Those are the men with the plan. They do the Pure Blood TV guide with an on-air quick fix. Actually, somebody's missing from here, and I meant to mention it, but I keep forgetting, and now I don't remember who was missing from the on-air thing. But we'll maybe it'll come to me. If not, I'll tell somebody when I remember. 'Cause I'm a blonde, yeah, and I'm getting old, yeah. Let's see, and of course, this is the actual interactive guide. You can pretty much just click on any of these. If you get bored one day, this is the place to go. If your favorite streamer is not streaming, you can actually go here and discover some that are similar. Actually, so far, I haven't seen a whole lot that are extremely a lot like each other. Of course, everyone has their own personalities, and everyone has come up with their own unique shows, the things that they cover, the things that they say about it. And even though sometimes a lot of us don't agree on every little thing, we still pretty much come together and, hash it out. Just like we're supposed to do. Brad Allen Music says, Brandrak. I think he was on Red Dawn Radio Monday or Tuesday. Brandrak? Nice. Yeah, the first of the month for me is quite busy. We do our gospel thing for the seniors and stuff like that on the first Tuesday of every month, and of course we have to rehearse and do all the other stuff up until then, and I work on the weekends. So this is one of the first week of the month is usually when I probably look the most haggard or harried, because I am. Lots and lots of stuff happens. All right. And of course, you guys know how to support the channel. I've got the Cash App little thingy that you can scan, or this is my ID there if you want to do that. I'm on PayPal for the old schoolers. Buy me a coffee on Ko-Fi. Buy me a milkshake if you want to become a member. I don't really have anything exclusive. It's just a way for you to not have to remember to tip me if that's what you want to do. If you want to keep me going and everything like that. And of course, everything goes right back into this. I'm saving up now for another computer so that I can expand and stream on another network. I'm dying to go to pale.net and grow some more there. And of course, it makes the show better. The more I have, the more I can sit here and work on stuff for you too. A lot of times. Let's see. There's a hack out there named Plastic Salad Tray. All he does is restreams shows and plays and games. Who is that? American Dreamer. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Hallie. Welcome to the show. All my shout outs. And of course, all my links are below. I'm getting so distracted today. What can I tell you? And of course, I'm still waiting on people's stingers. If you want me to put a commercial or something like that of your show or whatever it is, send me a stinger. My email is below, or you can... I don't know. My email is the best way to get to me unless you want to make a comment on one of my things. Or you can reach me through Twitter, too. I'm on Twitter at ldghwih. Same as every other piece of social media I've got, which actually makes it really easy. I was very happy about that. Super Trucker, welcome. A guide for all rain-offs. Yeah, I needed that at one time. And one of the people that's not like hanging out with us anymore or anything like that would actually help me out quite a bit. With it. It was unfortunate that he got so crazy, but hey, shit happens sometimes. You just never know. Okay. All of that, I think I got all of the administrative business done. I'm going to open the phone lines as the last act of administration and become the talking head. Plastic salad tray, a little more fruity than expected. Yeah, you got, actually, yeah, it is more fruit than vegetables. You got 2 vegetables and 3 fruits, so cool. He's watching. Who's watching? Who's watching? That actually looks good. I'd like to have that with my burger later. Whose means is? Pastor Shadley says he's means is too. Whose means is? The guy plastic salad tray? I do. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad I don't make you cry, Toasty. I'm glad. And actually, I think today's show is going to make you pretty happy. Because I keep hearing things that people aren't fighting against this, people aren't speaking up against this, but I've found quite a few people who are, and I'll explain that in a minute. First thing I wanted to cover was Trump on CNN. And, of course, the left is going absolutely insane. In fact, the only person that I kind of sort of agree with on this is Krasenstein. Which blew my mind when he came out and said, oh, man, we shouldn't boycott CNN. Because it's funny because Trump is now trying to get in on their territory, I guess you could say. Or that's how they think about it, going on CNN. And Krasenstein was the only one that said, hey, man, we need to listen to what these people have to say. In fact, if he lies, then they can call him out right then and there and some shit like that or whatever. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Of course, I've never agreed with a Krasenstein before, so who are you and what did you do with him? Let's see. Oh, Paulie, thank you so much. Oops, sorry about that. Left that cash up too long. But you get one of these, Paulie. Thank you so much for the donation. He says plastic chandelier is meanses. It actually looks kind of cool. Is it really plastic? Very, very sparkly. Very sparkly. Going to do a drunken cooking show next Friday night. Oh, then that sounds like fun, and I'm actually off next Friday night. They got me actually working on two different nights a weekend now. They're splitting them up on us, so some nights I'll be here on Friday night, and some nights I'll be here on Saturday night. Unless, of course, I'm with my parents. And, of course, I always go to church on Sunday morning. Brad, do you prep before drinking? Yeah, do you? A lot of people take, like, vitamin B6 or something like that. Or some kind of B12, something like that before they drink. Or they'll drink a shitload of water and eat a shitload of food and then drink a bunch. Alright, so anyway, back to Trump on CNN. He's supposedly going to be having a town hall. They're going to allow him to do a town hall. Which CNN put it this way. Trump and CNN just blew my mind to begin with. And of course, everybody's going, wee. Trump only said CNN was fake news. And blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, if he's on it himself, then he won't say that anymore. Now, will he? And of course, I'm pretty sure that if they start calling him on stuff that aren't true, Like they keep pushing the January 6th thing. Because you know damn well they're not going to let any of that stuff go. They always give him the hard questions. Of course, it's supposed to be only his own constituents that are supposed to be asking him questions. But do you really trust CNN? I don't. And I'm pretty sure Trump doesn't either. But what better way to go to the other side? You know, that's somebody, in my opinion, it looks like to me that he's actually acting on the fact that he wants to unite people, or try to at least. Let's see. Okay, you guys are talking between yourselves. Limited access. B12 averts hangovers, according to your doctor. Okay, well, that's a good thing. CNN is in the same boat as Anheuser-Busch. Well, they have been for a really, really long time. And, you know, in fact, Ted Koppel, I believe it was, at one time was telling, who was it? Was it Stelter? Yeah, Stelter, Potato Head Boy or whatever they called him. In fact, Tucker Carlson, I think, called him a eunuch or something like that, which actually is not really funny, but it is for him anyway. I think he actually started calling him that when he heard Mark Dice talking real high and copying him by talking real high and everything like that, like somebody was grabbing his nuts while he was trying to tell the news. Of course, you guys know that that's fiction, right? It doesn't make a guy sound like that if you squeeze his balls, okay? It's kind of funny, but it's another myth, but it's funny when you do it, or when you think about it. And you have to actually clench something to be able to talk that high. So, yeah, and another thing that also caught me funny about this too is everyone always says that if Trump did everything or claimed things like the left do, that they would then be against it. Which, like I say, there's a lot of people whining on Twitter that CNN's going to give this liar, this January 6th perpetrator, this murderer, this coup, this everything in the book Hitler dude that he is. Oh, I can't believe CNN's going to give him a voice. All right. What if they... My only question to people like that is if you had something to say, would you be upset, or would you think it was fair if they didn't listen to you? You know, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that would be out there calling whoever these people are that are yelling this stuff liars. So, yeah, you have to throw it back at them. Hey, man, how about if somebody did that shit to you? And if he's lying, call him on it. That's, you know, prove him wrong. That's all we're asking. Brad Allen says, poutine kicks ass. Yeah, it actually sounds really good. It's French fries and brown gravy, right? Beef gravy or something, brown gravy, and cheese curds or melted cheese. That's basically a French fry po' boy down in New Orleans, except for they put it on bread. And I absolutely adore, like, French fries and potatoes or any kind of with brown gravy on it. That's delicious. So, and put some cheese on it too. Holy shit, that's good. I can't imagine people saying, ew, gross. I love loaded cheese fries. The only difference would be in some cases is they don't put the brown gravy on it, but it's like a loaded baked potato on French fries. I think it's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, I would love to try your poutine. Of course, most people make fun of it because it sounds like poo. The beginning sounds like poo. And in fact, I've seen cartoons make fun of it. In fact, Brad Allen, I know that you're up there, is Forget About It, a popular cartoon up there? I want to know, because I saw it come through, and I watched it live. They don't have a whole lot of episodes, but it's kind of an interesting premise, but it's definitely not for kids. All right. All right. I was going to say, I think some of these tweets speak for themselves for that very premise. And like I say, everybody's bitching about how could we do this? How could CNN ask this? That's our news. This is like they're saying, that's our newscast. That's our spot. What in the hell are they letting him in here for? We hate him. And of course, they want to boycott the place. It's coming up here on the 10th, I believe, which is, let's see, a Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. I'd love to be able to, live feed it, but I don't know. I'm not that far ahead right now. I'm not planning that far ahead yet. I'm going to be good to get through tonight's show. But I'm curious to see who actually watches it. Now, I'm sure there'll be some diehards, and like I say, if I can muster it, I might go ahead and do it live if they have it live somewhere. I can't imagine them having him on and then not showing it. That would be stupid. Of course, they do that all the time when he has his own rallies, but I mean, this is a little different. You know, they're going to have more control or whatever, or you never know. These companies, it blows my mind that these companies don't care about their bottom line more than they care about being activists for this stuff. So I actually wouldn't put it past them if they did actually have him on, have this thing going and everything like that, and then not broadcast it anywhere. I mean, come on. Everything's so freaking backwards anywhere else and for any other situation or anything like that would you put it past him? I wouldn't. Adam, welcome to the show. I'm getting a lot of interruptions at work. Sorry about that. Your college probably just doesn't want you to hear the truth. College campuses are pretty bad about that nowadays. Just got the ScrewTube notification. Well, I actually, like I say, I'm running a little bit behind. I wasn't late or anything, but I was running a little bit behind. I literally just set up all of the live feeds not 15 minutes before I started. So, except for Odysee, which I actually set up last night. And I figured I'd better set it up or else I would forget the title I wanted to use. So, when I come up with this stuff, if I don't write it down immediately or do something about it immediately, it goes away. I think I'm trying to think about too many things at one time, but hey, what can I tell you? He won't give me anything I can't take care of, or that he won't bring me through. So, now I don't know if Trump would go for this, but perhaps the next thing he should try to do is identify as someone else, or something else, like this next guy did. All right, this is one of the things, these people are screaming and yelling and all up in arms about things like this, but they made these rules. They made these rules. And I can't imagine, well, like I say, this just goes to show you that they don't think any farther than the end of their nose either, because they make these rules up and then they don't expect anyone else to use them. In fact, like I say, case in point, Indiana councilman who came out as Native American lesbian pushes back on calls to resign. These people are absolute, and you can tell who they are. I'm going to show you the video about these people that went nuts about this and his response to it. A county council member in Muncie, Indiana, now identifies as a woman of color. Delaware County Councilman or Councilwoman Ryan Webb now identifies as a woman of color. Webb's Facebook proclamation was met with criticism, and Webb said death threats. How tolerant of everyone, eh? Webb, a Republican not running for the re-election this year, initially announced the identity shift earlier this month on social media. He writes, and I quote, "After much consideration, I have decided to come out and finally feel comfortable announcing my true, authentic self," Webb wrote. "It is with great relief that I announce to everyone that I identify as a woman, and not just any woman, but a woman of color as well. And I guess this would make me gay/lesbian as well, since I am attracted to women." Let's see. Do I have it here? Yes, I do. Where is it? was here a minute ago. Where are my bookmarks? Where are my bookmarks? Okay. Here's the video.
White man is identifying as a lesbian woman of color, and people are upset about it.
Councilperson Ryan Webb announced publicly on social media that he now identifies...
What happened?
White man is identifying as a lesbian woman of color, and people are upset about it.
Councilperson Ryan Webb announced publicly on social media that he now
like this person has any room to talk.
If he were serious, I'd sing his praises. But instead, I know better.
In none
oh, you do,
of my jobs in the last 21 years, and that is many, many jobs, would I have been permitted to mock and disrespect.
Damn, 21 years? How many jobs has she had? You wonder why she's had so many jobs. But she's never been able to disrespect her customers. I bet she has, though.
Respect my customers.
And if that were true, we would all be proud of you, and no one would be denying your right to do such things and to identify by your heritage. But your open mockery of these communities is insane.
In order to demand for the resignation of Ryan Webb. The posts Mr. Webb made on April 12th were offensive on many levels.
After hearing these complaints...
Oh, come on. These are the people that want this to be happening. What's wrong here? Let's see.
Ryan Webb responded.
I'm being dead serious. You don't get to question me.
Thank you.
You do not get to require proof from me. You were part of the movement that helped establish these rules and set the bar.
Touché, Councilman.
That's right. That's exactly right. And that's why I say, that's why I titled this the title, because I have found quite a few people that are not only doing things like this, but also talking about this and absolutely refusing to accept this stuff. So we'll go on. All right. He claims to be a woman of color. He enrages all of these people that all have all of these pronouns and require everyone and even want people arrested if they don't go along with their fantasy land or whatever like that. All right. Let's see. That's my next one. Oh, there it was. How did that get weird? How did that get messed up? Okay. Let's see. What's my... Well, I got my notes here. Thank God for my notes. And yeah, all these people thinking, oh, I know what's in this guy's mind and heart. I love it when these people try to read everyone else's minds. And that's the reason why they end up trying to give everybody else labels and trying to really just suck everybody in and make everybody obey their orders as to who they are and whatever. When, you know, most people don't really care. Do your thing. Let your freak flag fly. But leave us out of it, and no children. No children. Anyway, like I say, we don't get to question you, not even if it's try to understand you better. Everything's offensive. How dare you question me? Well, don't you want us to know? You sit there and lecture us about this stuff as if you want us to understand this stuff, but not bringing it to that person at that person's level. You're never going to get any respect that way. You just shut them up. They're going to just be confused and probably stay away from you after that. I know I would. So in that case, two can play at this game, and y'all made the rules. Just like he said, y'all made the rules. Another thing that's being a point of contention as far as that goes is the gentleman named David Hughes, I believe, on May 2nd. I think it was Monday? No. Tuesday. Right. Okay. This Bud Light is for you, David Hughes, who identified as a woman in an all-ladies poker tournament and won. And of course, again, internet, Twitter is just going bananas. 70-year-old male poker player from Florida was one of 83 total entries in a $250 buy-in tournament, which is traditionally event meant only for women. His unwelcome presence was almost immediately noticed by others in the field. Gee, I wonder why. He's only got a beard as long as my old man's. But women can have beards and bulges now, didn't you know? Let's see. Noticed by others in the field, including poker pro Ebony Kennedy. who put a bounty on his head of $300 for anybody who knocked him out. Several others jumped in, including people following the tournament on social media. We're reaching the logical end of this much quicker than I expected. Honestly, we need more of this. And I agree. And it's like I said before, they made these rules, but they don't expect anyone else. You know, they made this shit okay. It's the same question I had about this absolute debacle with Trump going to New York, being arrested in New York. You know, they want to, oh, you can't love him because he's a criminal, yet they glorify their criminals. They made it okay to love a criminal, but they expect no one else to? Give me a break. It never works that way. In fact, when you don't keep it simple, you don't remember things like monkey see, monkey do. And if you're going to be that way, why can't I? That's just human nature. That's just human nature. All right? Again, you guys made the rules on this. Not to mention, and I don't usually like to talk about this person, and I'm not mentioning any names, the two quips from the infamous Bud Light drinker, as we'll put it. One, where this person literally thinks that anyone that misgenders anyone should be arrested. Now, I thought about this prospect for a little while, and I thought, after watching some of these videos that came across my feeds, as I was hearing people like Officer Tatum say, oh, nobody's speaking out against all of this. No women are speaking out against all of this. He did something talking about this particular situation I'm getting ready to mention right now. But again, after thinking about it and after seeing a couple of these videos, I thought we can negotiate the terms of that with no problem. We get into trouble if we do that, but not unless it applies to you all as well. All right, you know, by calling folks something like that they don't want to be called, like cis or chest feeder and vagina or uterus owner. Yeah, you don't get to assume all of that stuff. If we don't get to assume all of that shit, neither do you. So yeah, as long as you keep it fair, no problem. I bet you won't do it, though. Once again, two can play at that game. And I'm glad to see that some more and more folks are. We all need to be doing such things. I've been doing this since I've known about it. You want to make up the rules? Well, expect to be held to them. And I mean, it's only fair, right? You wouldn't want anyone, and I mean anyone, to get hurt. Right? I mean, you're just so lovely and just so happy and sweet all the time. You just don't want anyone to get hurt. You're so afraid that things will come back to bite people. By the way, you need to perfect the eyelash Twitter. And number two. This is the thing that really bothered me the most about this. Calling you by your biosex name or your name is not dehumanizing, because there are still male and female humans, no matter what anybody wants to call you. So far, that's not dehumanizing. And please, please, please stop acting like you didn't want all this drama and attention, because if you didn't, this last video where you lie about not being on the internet for weeks, yet somehow knowing about every fucking article that had your name in it, to the point of where you had no idea who they were talking about, wouldn't even be a thing. It wouldn't even be on the internet. You would never have uploaded it. Alright? Not to mention the fact that the few things that you did say on this just started more shit. Okay? So, yeah, people can see through this. Especially when you contradict yourself that way. Okay? Alright, you wouldn't have said anything. You'd have moved on. But you wanted to start even more shit. And don't come at me, bro. But I will ruin you if you even question me. Kind of attitude. I believe that happily polite threat is no longer working, my friend. So, you want to know what is dehumanizing, though? I'll let you know what's dehumanizing. Being called things like cis. And having folks use qualifiers to our beings without even being asked if that's okay with us. Being threatened when we don't want to just give up our spaces that we fought for over 100 years to obtain. Being shoved aside while you take our spaces, our sports, our wards, and our livelihoods if we don't just allow it. Being relegated to just a social construct that you want everyone to think that you're so badly, that you are so badly that you would eliminate the uniqueness and the importance of women. When you wouldn't be here without one. So don't you dare sit there and say how dehumanized you are for people calling you by your name or your actual sex, while actually dehumanizing and then threatening those that don't subscribe to your shilling fantasy land. I'm going to show you. Let's see. I already showed you the poker event. Now, again, I wasn't even looking for this topic. I asked the question to myself as far as this goes. Is this really... Because I was literally hearing people like say, Officer Tatum was talking about that nobody was talking about against this. And I'm thinking to myself, I guess nobody's really paying that close of attention. And I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. Let's see. Am I imagining? Let's see. You're damn right I'm going off, Adam. And anyone with children should too. In fact, there's a movie coming out regards to the human trafficking condition. And I see the reason why they're doing this or trying to do this to our children, so that they can just have them all. In fact, this is the one quote in the trailer that I saw that really made the most sense was the fact, first of all, they did the statistics. Human trafficking is actually vastly and fastly becoming the largest crime syndicate type of crime that there is out there, above drugs and gun running. It's almost above drugs. And the reason is because of the fact the guns and the drugs, these guys can only sell them once. But a child can be sold up to 10 to 12 times a day for 10 years. Think about that. If that doesn't slap you in the face about what's going on and why a lot of this shit's going on and why we should fight against it. Especially our children. I don't give a shit what you do as an adult. That's up to you. It's a free country as long as you're not hurting anyone else or abating anyone else's rights. I have no problem with you. The minute you start touching children, no, absolutely not. Put my foot down. I don't care. That will be a hill I will die on. All right. So, again, I wasn't looking for this topic to begin with, but as usual, I'm led here somehow or another. And, of course, this is an extremely important topic. And there are more than a lot of these pundits, a lot more people than these pundits are letting on that are actually against this. I don't know what the deal is there, whether they're not looking for it or whether they've not been led to it like I feel like I have for this particular show. But we'll see. Let's see. All right. Got people making fun of it. This is hilarious. We'll start with something comical but true.
Matters to discuss. Lex Luthor and Bill Gates have teamed up. They want to launch a rocket to block out the sun. So let's get this thing moving. As you all know, we have a new member of the Justice League, Woke Man.
It's ma'am.
Are we doing this shit again?
To ensure the safety of humanity and the integrity of the team, we all need to know each other's secret identities and our weaknesses.
Boring.
Woke Man, you're up.
It's ma'am.
Get on with it.
Okay, I'm proud to say I don't need a secret identity. I had my name legally changed to Woke Man. I live that life, yo, and I don't have any weaknesses. I've evolved to a point where nothing can hurt me.
You're woke. I guarantee I could say something right now that would destroy you.
Nice try, but your words have no power here.
Donald Trump.
That name... hurts.
Socialism fails everywhere it's implemented.
That's not real socialism.
Ooh, I got one. There are only 2 genders.
Losing consciousness.
Stop it, you guys. You're killing him.
We've got important matters to...
Yeah, okay. Like I say, start with a funny one. I'm not sure, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm not even sure who a lot of these people are. This is what I mean. This is what I mean by when I was led. These things popped up everywhere on my feeds as I was going through stuff. In fact, I pretty much did nothing but look at videos and stuff like that on my phone yesterday while I was resting because I was nursing a migraine. And this, I'm telling you, I've got at least 10 more. Here we go.
Man wants to become a woman and dress as a woman, great. What do you do? I mean, I have empathy for that. Do what you want to do, man. Like, I think that you have an issue, a mental problem, cool, whatever, that's gospel according to Sean. I'm sure there's probably science both ways to say yes or no, whatever. I don't really care, man. What I care about is when a man decides to go down that path, and then all biological women need to change who they are, what their safety looks like because of that man. That's what I have a fucking problem with. A man wants to become a woman and dress as a woman, great. What do you do? I mean, I have empathy for that. Do what you want to do, man. Like, I think that you have an issue, a mental problem, cool, whatever, that's gospel according to Sean. I'm sure there's probably science both ways to say yes or no, whatever. I don't really care, man. What I care about is when a man decides to go down that path, and then all biological women need to change who they are, what their safety looks like because of that man.
Indeed. All right. Like I say, I don't even know who that is. A lot of these are random people. Some of them you may have seen before. Here's another one. This person I looked up on TikTok, and evidently their original, where this particular video came from, was erased. They had a number 2, but I couldn't find it on there, but it was still on here, so...
Be offensive, but I am a biological woman. My mama popped me out her coochie, and I'm probably gonna pop another little nigga out mine. So
and she's the nurse.
Either way, I don't do 3-minute videos, so I just want to give an example of what I think this whole argument is. I invite you over to my house, right? I tell you, you can stay in my house for as long as you need. You are welcome here, and I accept you with open arms. I come home from work one day, and my whole house rearranged. I ask you, I say, why did you change my bed from my room? You say, because you like it better looking like this, and that it should stay looking like this. I say, no, I think I want my bed back in my room. You tell me I should have even invited you if I wasn't willing to accept you fully and thoroughly. In order to appease you as my guest, I say, okay, that's cool. I'm sorry. I apologize. It could stay like this. Slowly and surely enough, one by one, my things are now your things. A place that I was once comfortable at, and a place that I truly considered home. A place where I was once, accepted. I am now being pushed out. It even is to the point where you are telling people my house is no longer my house and that it is now yours. And every time I try to reclaim my house, I am being threatened with, you're gonna tell my job, you're gonna blast me and I'm gonna get canceled. You're gonna make me feel all types of guilt trips and shamefulness. I am literally backed in a corner. This is how I personally feel. I do not mean to be offensive, but I am a biological.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Somebody joined us. Salty Mad Jameson, welcome. Love you too, babe. Polly says, if you're empathetic just because you are encouraging that behavior. Sometimes everything has finesse. Sometimes you just gotta let go. But you can't give up right away. But of course, if someone's trying to push it, empathy doesn't mean doormat. Okay, kindness and all, it doesn't mean doormat. Doesn't mean you're willing to let that person walk all over you. Not to mention the fact that, are you showing them true empathy or true love by lying to them about these things? No. If you truly love someone and want their full benefits and want them to be happy and everything like that, you're not going to lie to them about this stuff. You're going to say, hey, I know how you feel, but this is just not the way it is. You know, at that point, they have to make it up for themselves, but at least you weren't dishonest. A lot of times, I'll be honest with somebody, and they'll be away from me for a really long time. I'll see him again in a couple of years, or a couple of 10 years, or whatever like that, or afterwards. Oh, man, I wish I had listened to you. Hey, man, I loved you enough to tell you the truth about what that person was doing. It was up to you to listen at that point. Yeah, man, I'm so sorry about that. I said, hey, man, your loss. At that point, it was. And don't get me wrong, I've done the same thing. We're human beings. We all, you know, we want what we want. Nobody else, you know, stay out of my business, etc. and etc. But there are differences. Like I say, if you got somebody that's cutting themselves, are you going to sit there and keep giving them razor blades? You'd be an asshole if you did. All right, let's see. Here we go. Here's another one. Now, I don't know where this is.
Well, they passed the bill today. No more he, them, they play in the women's sports or go in the girls' bathroom. Stay at the women's bathroom. I think all those transmania devils should get their own transmania devils team. You know, transmania devils play with transmania devils. Point blank, period. They passed the bill today. They cannot play in the women's sports. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
Her name, I think this is her name, Sherry Lee. I don't know. That's Facebook. Then you had they call this a stitch. I'm not real sure why, but a little bit longer one, but I think you'll enjoy this one. This is a Christian fella.
So the only time y'all give a damn about women's sports is when trans women involved up in it?
Yeah, I kind of got a problem with that. Seeing that I'm a father with 4 daughters and they all play sports, yeah, it's kind of a big deal. You know what killed me about y'all woke liberals? Y'all do everything in your power to fight for women equality and women rights, but are perfectly okay with biological men competing with biological women and having clearly a physical advantage over them. For example, this guy, William Thomas, wasn't even ranked in the top 300 when he swam with the men, okay? When he was competing with other biological men, he was trash. This person y'all know, Leah Thomas, who's the same guy as this person, went over there and started swimming with the women and started winning first place in gold medals. What you think the difference is there, buddy? Clearly has a physical advantage over these women. How about Fallon Fox?
By 50 seconds?
This is a man I'm showing y'all in the picture. He severely beat a woman in MMA and broke her skull in less than 2 minutes. You want to know what he had to say about it? Okay, this was him before he went to this, okay? This is the same man. Look at what he said, y'all. He enjoyed fracturing a woman's skull in the cage.
Oh, yeah, he seems like a nice person.
Bruh. But y'all don't see that. Y'all too wrapped up in politics. Y'all too busy engulfed in woke culture. And y'all can't see what's right and wrong no more. Do we need another example? Let me guess, this is okay too, right? This grown man out here in a weightlifting competition in the Olympics against women. Is this okay? Breaking records, winning medals, clearly has a strength, size advantage over these women. Since you're so for women's rights and women's equality, is this okay? And another thing that kills me about y'all, y'all so for women's rights, but then on the other hand, you can't even tell me what a woman is. There's no such thing as a woman. Biological women don't exist. Man, y'all need to make y'all mind up. Y'all so confused. See, what done happened was, most of y'all reprobate. And you're not a believer, so you probably don't know what I'm talking about. The Lord Jesus has turned you over to your foul and dark thoughts, your unclean ways, where you can't even receive the truth. You support stuff like this. And like I said, as a father with daughters, I'll be darned you think some man about to get in there and abuse my child. Y'all got a whole nother thing coming. Stand for what's right, not those demonic, dark, unbiblical, political beliefs y'all stand on. It's twisted. And it's wrong. This is not okay, man. Fractured that woman's skull in less than 2 minutes. Ain't no other way around that, dog. Biological men need to play with biological men. Biological women need to play with biological women. It's that simple.
That person enjoyed crushing that woman's skull. How evil is that? That right there is the epitome of evil. Taking joy in someone else's pain and causing it at the same time is even worse. That person should never have been allowed to even be in the ring at all. Don't care what they said. Don't they have different strength categories and things like that, or is it just weight? I'm not sure. But he's not wrong. It was wrong. Next one. I love this.
America's been drinking beer from a company that doesn't even know which restroom to use. That's why I created Conservative Dad's ultra-right, 100% woke-free beer. As conservatives, we're constantly getting hit in the face, left and right, by the woke mind virus. But the last place we want it is in our beer. If you know which bathroom to use, you know what beer you should be drinking. Stop giving money to woke corporations that hate our values. And to the rest of you woke corporations, stay the away from our kids.
Here's another one that I found. Like I said, this stuff just came across my feed. I had no idea what my topic was going to be. And then when yesterday, all of these just... I was sent a message. Talk about this. There are people that... We are the majority, I think, in this aspect. Just more people need to start speaking up. I want people to tell me if they notice anything after I'm done with all of these videos, too.
Okay. I know this is going to ruffle some feathers, and I understand I'm going to get canceled for this, but some things are going way too far, and we have to talk about it. But first, I'm going to say I don't have anything against the LGBT community. I don't care. I get paid every day, if not every hour, and I don't lose sleep over it. But what's not about to happen is non-biological women, you are not going to be the voice of biological women. Your opinion is not our opinion. Your opinion stops with you and your community, and you are not going to make decisions for biological women. We have sacred wombs, we bleed every month, and we bear children. We will make decisions for ourselves, and it stops here. Access is denied, permission is not granted.
Wales continues to enter into...
Thank you.
Okay, I know this is going to ruffle some...
Stop. All right. I think you guys have heard this one before, but...
Let me say this. I don't have a problem with the trans community at all, but it's getting ridiculous. If you say as a trans woman, you want to be called her, she, whatever you decide, even though you are a trans woman, if you want to be called her, she, fine, I'm going to respect that, and I'm gonna do that. So me as a woman, if I say don't call me a cis woman, I'm just a woman. You should respect that. I'm not birthing person. I'm not a chest feeder. I'm not a bleeder. I'm a woman. And that's what you're going to refer to me as. And you cannot ask for respect while disrespecting women. And that's what we get for trying to be allies. Look, now they just trying to wipe us out. Now look at us. We're looking stupid.
Hey guys, what's up? I really want to get...
Oh, she's right. Listen to this.
Stop. Okay. All right. This one, I think you've seen this one before too, but this is another example of this.
Why don't we just pair up?
I'm not into touching, okay? I'm not letting me put that out front. I'm no touching, no touching.
No touching. I won't touch you. I was paired up with Isaac. He was like, no touching. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun.
The music will start. The boys will turn around. So,
Right.
gentlemen, let's turn. Gorgeous. And then we start walking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He reminds me of Scatman Carruthers a little bit.
And then maybe
without the
let's
girth.
Look at the gentlemen. Gentlemen, you guys can acknowledge us. Ooh, who is this? Cool.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I can't do this. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm a man of God. I can't do this.
Oh, no.
I love those people. I pray for them. I would never do anything to hurt them or condemn them. But men are not supposed to dress like women. I'm not going to go along with that. It's time to stand up and be a man of God.
Why don't we just pair up?
At least stand up and put it this way. They can do anything that they want to do. The problem we have is that they insist that we not just acknowledge them, which there's been drag queens forever. I used to work with drag queens. In fact, they were nothing like the people that I'm looking at here. In fact, that person that he couldn't even look at that looked like a clown. That didn't look like any woman that I knew of. You know, at least the drag queens would try to at least do their very best to look like every aspect, to where they didn't want you to be able to tell it all. And I was going to say, women don't wear makeup like that. Not the ones that even Kim Kardashian doesn't look like that. I've never seen any of those ladies, these popular ladies, the people on The View. I've never seen any of this clown makeup on any of these women. How in the world do they get to claim to be women? Not to mention the fact that clothes and the makeup and all that other doesn't make you a woman either. But yeah, that dude was rather fugly. I'm sorry, man. If anything, I can't be anything but honest. Oh, let's see. Oh, Rumble. Welcome, Arrow 7. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. Let's see. More disappointed by my mother and stepdad still watching faux news. Yeah, well, old habits die hard, and if they're still paying for it, they probably, I don't know about anybody else, but I would probably use my money until it was gone. Not waste it. All right. And, of course, this is another thing that really I enjoyed here. I'm enjoying here. You guys have probably heard this before, too. This person also plays Hagatha. Very, very good actress, whatever you want to call. Actually, I don't even think this person requires you to call it a she. Her a she, him a she, whatever.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with this drag queen. Listen.
I have no idea why you want drag queens to read books to your children. I have no idea. What in the hell has a drag queen ever done to make you have so much respect for them and admire them so much? Other than put on makeup and jump on the floor and writhe around and do sexual things on stage. I have absolutely no idea why you would want that to influence your child.
All right, greetings. You're on the air.
Hi, Laura. It's Space Cowboy.
Space Cowboy. Okay, welcome.
So I kind of threw something out in the chat about whether or not I should call or not over this specific issue that I'm calling. Dang it. Hold on a second. It was Sparky. Sparky said yes out of like everybody else who ignored me. So anyway, there's been a homeless guy. He's from Camden, New Jersey, from the hood. He's a black dude. He's been hanging out on the divide at the stoplight for more than a year, and I've been talking with him for a long time this whole time because I spent many years homeless, and he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he's just, I don't know, he's just this guy, like this dude, and like so here recently in the last month and a half, 2 months, I've invited him over to shower. He spent the night once. He's just really nice and grateful. He has a faith in God. His faith is pretty silent. Like it's pretty obvious that he keeps it really close to himself.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I recently found out a few weeks ago that he's been robbed a couple times by other homeless people.
Yep.
In the area, and I spent 5 years in this area homeless, and so I know a lot of these people, and about 2 weeks ago, he was kicked off his spot that he's been on for like a year by this aggressive, drunk, drug addict, homeless guy who's like, oh, I'm going to take advantage of this dude. And so I confronted the guy and I told him, you better not be here tomorrow. The local convenience store, which is on the corner, right? The convenience store, gas station on the corner of the light. The manager is a good friend of mine. His wife used to manage the store, and she was a good friend of mine. She still is. And him. And when I went in there that morning, I walked in the door. I was like, why is that dude over there on Raheem's spot? His name is Raheem, by the way. And I was like, why is this guy over here in Raheem's spot? He's like, I don't know, but everybody's been complaining about it all morning. And I was like, okay, I'll deal with it. And so, you know, because I'm not scared. I was homeless on the streets of L.A. and San Francisco and Portland and Seattle for almost 3 decades. So none of these people scare me, and I'm not afraid. And so I just basically went up to him and I said, what are you doing in Raheem's spot? He's like, well, he wasn't here. And I was like, well, did you check with him first? Because on the street, there's an unwritten rule if, you know, because, you know, homeless people have their own laws, right? And so he was like, well, you know, he wasn't here this morning. And I was like, yeah, it's 6:30 in the morning. Why are you here? And he's all, well, I was like, you're not going to make any money. And he's all, well, how do you know? And I was like, all I know is that you better leave by tomorrow morning or I'm going to make you leave and you ain't going to come back to the spot ever again. And I haven't seen that dude since. That was like almost 3 weeks ago now because, you know, right while I was talking to him, it was like 20 minutes. I was on my way to work. And I just walked to work. I'm only a little bit away from my work, so I just walked to work.
Well, I actually have a question for you. You actually called it a great time because it was actually something that came across my feed as I was looking at these things too about homeless people. Is it true? And actually, I can see why. Is it true that a lot of homeless people don't want housing? They don't want to be responsible for that? They like being where they like being on the streets.
True. There's a mindset, and it's very prevalent that being homeless means that you're no longer part of the slave beast system. You see that a lot with there was in the last few years of Obama's presidency, there was a real push to create programs to get the homeless vets off the street. And at the time, there was like 60,000 vets across the United States on the street. And by the time Donald Trump took over, that was brought down like by 50%. There was like 30,000 vets on the street. And I'm not trying to pump up Obama or anything. It was actually the guys who were in charge of the VA, not necessarily the VA, but the way that money was spent in the Pentagon on veterans for housing changed their tune. And I don't know if those same guys are still in the Pentagon or not. Probably not, I'm going to say, but they created programs that not only allowed veterans to stay in the community where they were, which in like 90% of the cases were the communities where they were raised and where they were recruited from, right? And then some of these guys were Vietnam veterans, which right now the youngest Vietnam veterans are in their late 70s, right? And there's some of them still on the street. And those guys that are still on the street, they know about the programs. They know about them, and they're like, screw you, I don't want to be participating in this, right? And so they've started in the last few years, they've started implementing these, what they call dual diagnosis programs, which are focused on post-traumatic stress disorder that was previously either undiagnosed or was diagnosed but wasn't followed through with by the actual person who was diagnosed, right? Because they're like, screw these guys, they don't care, I don't want nothing to do with them, you know what I'm saying? And so you have that still in that much smaller community than it was, 8 years ago, right?
Right.
Because a lot of those guys that were trying to or looking for, maybe I need to be off the street, are off the street now. It's the real hardcore vets that are like, screw you, all you can kiss my ass, I'm going to live here, right? And then that also, promulgates through the rest of the population, especially in these big cities, which is where you find them, that it's like, no, I don't want to be a part of this. I'm not going to, and of course it's also, premised on a lot of these people are addicted to hard drugs, and, in order to get off the street, you have to go through these treatment programs, you have to abide by these rules, and all these things, and like, screw that, I ain't doing it. And so that has a lot to do with it, a big lot to do with it.
Well, aren't a lot of them actually providing these drugs and things for them now on the streets? They're actually still kind of dependent on them.
Yeah, well, when you're in like, Seattle or New York or San Francisco, LA, Portland, other big cities, Denver. I live in Colorado, but luckily I live on, I'm like 30 miles from the Utah border. So it's a little more conservative here than it is over on the other side of the mountains.
Right.
But, they provide them with needles, they provide them with, with pipes, they make it so that their drug dealers don't get busted. And I'm gonna go as far to say that often I think the law enforcement is involved in the actual dealing of the drugs.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, well, I have that personal experience here where I live years ago when one of the big drug runners in the early mid 90s, 93, 94, was busted, and all the drugs that they stole from him, 2 weeks later, we were buying those same drugs from the cops.
Yeah.
Instead of from the guy they busted, So, yeah.
Crooked cop decides he needs a little extra money to take a wine and dine a prostitute or something, so that, I know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was actually the task force that were selling us the drugs. After they busted, our dealer.
I was going to say, is actually, now that I'm hearing something like this, do you think that this is one of the reasons why some people are calling for the defunding of the police?
Well, I think on the right, I think that the defending of this kind of stuff is righteous. I think the left is mostly being pushed by moms whose sons who've been arrested and put in prison for 20 years for dealing drugs and doing other heinous crimes while they're doing it. And also the guys who are being released from prison. I mean, if you look at some of the riots, where you can get an actual look at the people who are committing the rioting crimes and the violence, it's not just white people, and it's not just black upper crust education people. It's obvious that there's a lot of gangster involvement in the crimes, especially when you get back to the eastern big cities like New York and the cities in Atlanta and stuff like that. Of course, what we've seen from the Atlanta riots lately, those are mostly, middle class and upper white kids, hippies who have never had to do anything for themselves. So they're, but if you look at the ones that go on in like New York and Chicago and shit, it's black kids, and they're not Antifa either.
No,
these are gangsters.
Right. Oh, there's a big difference. They found that most of the Antifa are all rich kids. Yeah, rich white kids. Yeah. It almost makes you wonder that these people that are actually in jail or have been arrested for drug dealing and things like that refuse to give up a cut. Maybe, perhaps.
Probably, I would say they wouldn't snitch. If you're going to go to prison. If you're going to jail because you got busted with $10,000 in cash and 4 ounces of crack, you're going to prison because you didn't give somebody's name up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Somebody didn't get their cut. That's actually how the government actually works.
Yeah.
So it's always it's illegal until they get their cut. That's always the way it's been.
Right. Yep. And so I think that trickles down to these people who are on the street, like my friend Raheem out here. He's from Camden, New Jersey, and is a hood, and he's a crack dealer. And I says, how did you, he says, I got sick of it. I almost got busted, and nobody snitched on me, but I lost like $300,000. And I couldn't do it anymore. And he walked away, and he said, as he pushed his shopping cart, and I'm thinking, damn, you've had this shopping cart that long? Because this is Colorado, right?
Yeah.
And, but he said the further he got out of Camden, the more he knew that was not going to be the life he was walking into. You know what I mean? So he's like literally leaving behind all the things that were screwing him up, and was looking for a peaceful life.
Right.
And
there's a lot of drama. Everybody's stealing from one another. That is literally survival of the fittest.
Right. Yep. And some of those people out there, I mean, it's not that. I don't think it's really so much the homeless people that are doing those like gang thefts and stuff. I mean, I think these are when you watch the videos, looks like they're primarily black people who are breaking into these stores or running into these stores with bats and stuff and breaking the counters and yanking all the jewelry or whatever. But yet, when it comes to like a more formal protest, you're seeing these kids, these white kids primarily, that are in college, and especially in Portland. But I think because I have a lot of experience in Portland and Seattle and San Francisco, many years ago, before this Antifa thing rose up, Yvonne called it one day. I started saying something about the Rainbow Gathering, and he's like, I knew you were a rainbow. And so I was a rainbow for a long time, from 85 to like 93. I went to every national. I went to any regional that I could go to, I went. And this is where that ideology came from. It comes from that same hippie culture that started in the late 50s and went on through the Vietnam War and into the 70s and stuff. This communist Marxist ideology that was fed by from the 20s with these college professors who were exploring the ideas of communism and Marxism in the United States, and then was reinforced with the bringing in the the Jewish scientists from Germany after the war,
Mm-hmm.
after the, you know, because most of the scientists in Germany were Jews, they weren't Germans, and but after World War II, a lot of them were brought in the United States, and they were put into professorships in colleges all across the country,
Mm-hmm.
and this Marxist ideology is just permeated the college institutions in the last 2 decades, and it's just gotten worse and worse. But back to the veterans thing and homeless people in general, there's a lot of mentally ill homeless people because we just don't have anywhere to deal with homeless people or with mentally ill people as adults. We're not allowed to put them in homes and protect them unless they choose to do so, or they're declared incapable of making their own decisions, which a lot of family judges and stuff are unwilling to make those decisions. Even, you know, 40 years ago they were unwilling to do it. You know? But that's the big problem we face with this homelessness, and we face about 25% of the population of homeless people are never going to accept homes, are never going to want to move off of their little corner of the sidewalk. And even if we give them a beautiful apartment, give them a couple weeks, they'll be back on that corner in a tent, you know. And that's what we're dealing with in this situation. And none of these psychologists, and that's what I was going to school for, was psychology, are prepared for this. You know, there are men like Jordan Peterson and well, I can't call Thomas Sowell a psychologist because he's not. He's an economist, but he's better than most psychologists. You know, he understands humanity much more than most psychologists today.
Well, he actually has a contrast. You know, he was actually a Marxist to begin with. And when he was asked what made him change his mind, he said the truth.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have these psychologists out here, and these Keynesian economists, like that crazy chick who runs the Federal Reserve right now, whatever her name is, but
Yelton.
Yellen, yeah.
Yellen, yeah,
Yellen. Psychotic.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, these people are paid to do a lot of this stuff, I do believe. In fact, if you watch their body language sometimes, they don't even believe what they're saying. They're saying it because they have to.
You know, that's the thing with Yellen. You can, like, literally tell that she's lying.
Yeah.
She's 100% lying.
Yep.
She has no idea what she's talking about.
Nope. It's all pre-scripted for them. You know, and if they don't toe the line, they lose all of their livelihood, everything. So yeah,
right, yeah.
That's something else that's trickled down to the rest of us too.
Her face is AOC. like you know, except she's not quite as fanatic. She's just reading shit that's wrote that somebody told her to memorize. Mm-hmm. Whereas AOC actually believes that shit.
Well, it's nice that you're helping this homeless man. Does this homeless man that you've been befriending, does he want a home now, or just to?
Well, yeah, he's working. He's working with the local human services right now. Mm-hmm. I think actually next week he has a meeting with them, and they're going to, because he wants to get his kids. Now, he's been homeless for 7 years, mm-hmm. but his wife, well, according to him, I don't know for sure about this, but his wife wants to leave Camden, but she doesn't want to leave unless she knows that she's going to have a place for her kids. And so right now he's working with the housing authority here, and they're supposed to, he's got a meeting with them next week to let him know places that are available for him. And they're already working on getting his child support deferred, so that he can have like he calls his kids, like he's like, I gotta charge my phone to call my kids the other night, and I was like, yeah, of course. And you know, he sat there talking to his kids for an hour or so. So, you know, he's got the connection there. I don't know, he's definitely an enigma, because he's kind of crazy like me, but he's much more well focused on what he's doing, because, you know, I still have my issues with alcohol and cigarettes and stuff, and, you know, I mean, he's...
Well, they say that there's nothing worse than a...
doesn't want it.
Yeah, they say that there's nothing worse than a reformed reprobate.
Yeah, yeah.
So, well, God bless him, and God bless you for helping him out. That was very generous of you. But again, you understand the sit, so...
Yeah. I you know, I took a long time. I like, you know, on the street you learn to keep your eye out, to make sure that nobody can take from you the hard-won little bit that you have, right?
Yep.
And, so it took me a long time to, you know, through prayer and continuous interaction with him to be able to open myself up to that point, and I'm glad I did. You know, it was worth it. And I guess maybe that's the thing I want to push out here, is that, you know, take the time, and if you know somebody that you've seen a few times, that, you know, it's pretty obvious that they're not trying to get $5 so they can buy a pint, or that they're cracked out half the time you see them, those kind of things. You see somebody like that, you know, start, you know, inserting yourself into there and talking to them. Give them a few bucks. You know, ask them, say, hey, you want some weed? They say no. You know, if you want some alcohol, no. You want some cigarettes, no. You know, that guy is probably the guy you want to give money to, you know, if you've already observed that he's not intoxicated, that he's not smoking cigarettes, that he's not, you know, being, like, psychotic. I mean, even if he is standing on the curb talking to himself while he's not talking to anybody else, that doesn't mean he's psychotic. That just means he's lonely.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, there's a lot of people out there that I believe that it doesn't really take any kind of, like, physical support other than emotional. That's all it'll take to kind of bring them out of where they are into a more ability to realize, hey, you know what, I need to take care of myself, type of thing. I don't really know how to say that.
Well, in a lot of cases, in a lot of cases, it just takes them to think somebody cares. That's all really most humans want, is someone else to care. They need some kind of companionship.
Right.
We're built for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And, you know, I walk to work every day, and he's out there on the thing, and I wave to him because I'm about half a block from him when I walk across the street to go to work. And I wave to him every day, and I come home, and I see him at the store after work and stuff, you know, and if I have to go to the store like 8 o'clock at night, he's over there on his way to his campsite or whatever, and that's how we became friends, you know. I mean, I was homeless for a long time, and I have a heart for people who are homeless, and it was pretty obvious to me after a few months of watching him out there that he wasn't a drug addict. He wasn't, like, all tweaked out. He was there every day from morning to night, and that was over a year ago. And so from that point on, you know, I'd stop and I'd give him a 20 every couple of weeks or whatever, you know, and you know, after I first introduced myself and asked him if he wanted a pack of cigarettes or a beer or something or whatever, you know, he denied. He doesn't want any of that. And after, you know, that long, I realized he doesn't drink beer. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't smoke cigarettes. He's actually saving his money, and because he wants to get a place, boy,
I bet it's pretty hard if he keeps getting robbed.
Yeah. Well, he's been robbed twice, I guess, in the last year.
Maybe tell him to hide whatever it is, some of his money or what like that over by your place or something.
Yeah, I told him, I said, you should get a bank account. You don't trust banks.
Yeah, my old man used to have a woman. He had his repair shop was actually right across from the projects. And he used to have a young lady that would come into his shop and give him, like, her paycheck because she'd have to go home, and she knew damn well that the minute she walked into the project, she'd get robbed of it. So she's like, I really, really need this money to pay for this for my kid or whatever like that. And she says, I know that they'll just rob me the minute I walk in. So she was always asking him to hold money for her. So maybe help him save, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I kind of did that day, like, well, so when like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago when I saw that guy in his spot, and I talked to the guy, the manager of the store, and he's like, yeah, everybody's been asking why that guy there, and a couple guys were mad. I said, well, I'm pissed. And Raheem was still, I don't know, he wasn't there, but he was across the street, or later that day. He didn't even mess with the guy or anything because he's really non-confrontational. But that was kind of the point where I was like, you know what, I'm not putting up with this, because one of the things I found out that morning was that Raheem had been robbed twice.
Yeah.
And I knew Raheem had a bunch of, he had like these, you know those jerky, the gallon jars that have jerky in them, the plastic jugs? Mm-hmm. That have jerky in them. Mm-hmm. So he had like 4 of those in his shopping cart, and they were totally full of quarters and dimes and nickels and some pennies, but it was mostly quarters and stuff. He was just throwing all that change in there. Mm-hmm. And so I guess he got robbed of that like twice. And so...
That's terrible, but not easy to do either.
Yeah, and so that's why I told that guy, I told him, if I find out one of the things I told him was that if I find out you fuck with Raheem because I told you you can't be here tomorrow morning, I'm going to come find you, I'm going to fuck you up. Good. I went to prison for this shit. You fuck with my friends, man, I'm going to fuck you up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Especially my friends who can't defend themselves. And,
right.
So, you know, I'm not the nicest person in the world. This is why I tell people I'm not a nice person. You know, there's a lot of folks here in the pond. They're like, oh, you're a sweetheart. Nope, I'm not. I'm not a nice person. I'm a mean person. I'm violent. I have the criminal history to prove it. And, but I never used a gun, even times when I had a gun. When I was legal to have a gun, I never used a firearm to defend myself or somebody else.
For those who are asking, this is Space Cowboy, and let me real quick. A bunch of people have come onto the chat real quick here. Lizzie Longtoes, my famous young lady out there, welcome to the show. Space Pirate Yvonne, welcome to the show. Let's see who else showed up. I saw somebody else just show up too. Where was it? Oh, Bobby Digital, welcome to the show. I appreciate you being here. Don't forget. What don't I want you to forget? I forgot what I didn't want you to forget. Oh well. All right, go on. I'm just trying to acknowledge everybody that's on here. Make sure that I didn't forget anybody. They don't think that I've forgotten them.
Oh damn! Yvonne knows my shame name, Koibot.
Actually, he did.
Got it right.
He said,
no,
Space Cat Koibe Yar. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. He said
Yvonne did me a really big favor a few months ago when Odysee decided to revoke my gold membership, and he staked me, and he didn't tell me for like 3 weeks. And I was kind of mad at him. I was like, I'm a grown man. I don't need your help. And then I was like, damn, he's a nice dude.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, he's a pretty good guy. We had a big, long talk when the gypsies were being hijacked and closed off. And they did a gypsy where they were like shuffling everybody to Yvonne before he let, and so me and him, I just hung out with him for like an hour and a half. So
Muko, welcome.
Yvonne is a monster. He's a gorilla for sure. I love that guy. So
yeah, everybody seems to have a good time when he's around.
Yeah.
Especially when he's asleep. I'm just kidding.
He's crazier than shit, that's for sure.
They were messing with him when they all got together. I think they were actually. Were you with them? You say you were in Colorado. It sounds like they were in Colorado. I think they were in Colorado that time that they all got together.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I wish I didn't even know they were gonna be in Colorado until like 2 days before they were here. But I live 300 miles from Denver.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have a car, so it would have been difficult for me to get there. But I would have loved to have gotten there. I would have loved to have been there. That would have been great. Like I don't have heroes, sports heroes and stuff.
I gotcha.
But, I mean, except for maybe Michael Jordan and. Maybe a couple of old Broncos players or something, but, you guys, I love you guys. I love the pond. Odysee is like the greatest social media website ever. That's all I gotta say. I mean, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, the pond is pretty cool.
yeah. There's a very diverse. Diversity is the strength, and there's a very diverse crowd here. And the funny thing is that we all think the same. You got Kevin, right? I mean, you can't get any more diverse than a guy who was swindled into becoming trans and found God, and a black gay dude who found God because he realized that he was being lied to by everybody, and then a whole bunch of crazy freaking rednecks and computer geeks, and we have real women on Odysee.
Yeah, proof that we're not the bigots that they keep claiming we are.
Right, exactly.
And we don't care what they say anyway. I don't.
Right, yeah.
If I did, I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, I love you guys. I'm going to go so that you can have another caller come in. I hope they can. I hope they do. I've been prepping myself for this, but today... Oh, the reason I called today was because I saw a guy that looked like he was harassing Raheem, a homeless guy. Is obviously a homeless guy. And I was in the altar when this guy walked in. And so I turned to the dude and I was like, were you harassing my friend? And he's all, who's your friend? I was like, Raheem. He's all, who's Raheem? I said, the black guy on the curb out there holding a sign, flying a sign. He's all, no, I wasn't. I was like, well, I hope not, because if you were, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you. I straight up told him that in front of the clerk, who's a big, he's a Samoan guy. He's a big old dude. He's my buddy. His name is Nick. He's cool as hell. He's got the most beautiful fro. But, and this guy was like, he's all half rat hair, dreadlocks, and his beard, anyway. I was just like, look, dude, this is what it is. That's Raheem's corner, don't mess with Raheem, you're gonna have to fuck with me, and then you're gonna be sorry. He's like, I wasn't, man. I was giving him a couple bucks. I was like, okay, that's cool. Just remember that. That's
Nice.
Raheem's corner.
Nice.
It's like I'm not gonna let nobody fuck with Raheem, dude.
Well, hopefully
I'm just
that'll mean he eventually won't need that corner anymore after a while.
Yeah, I think he's pretty close right now. I have a friend who's the director of the local homeless outreach organization, and I've been talking to her, and so I got to call her again because of the new things that Raheem told me about, that he's got this thing going on next week or whatever, and because she's all in on that stuff.
Well, great.
So,
He'll be in our thoughts and prayers. Hopefully, you guys will both do very well with all of this, and hopefully he gets his kids and they become a good family again, and like they're supposed to.
right, exactly. By the way, he does love Jesus, loves God. He's already told me straight up, yeah, God is where I'm at. Christ is my focus, and so
awesome.
You know, he's definitely he's got more insights in certain ways than I do, for sure. So I'm happy for him. He's got a good Bible and stuff, and he reads it, and so maybe I'm gonna start my church with him.
There you go.
Because I don't know, and he's my brother. It's crazy how that happens. You'll find a good brother. You never know where you're gonna find him either.
Nope.
So. All right, Laura. I'm so glad I finally got to talk to you.
Me too. Thanks so much for calling. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. You bet. I appreciate it too. And I will always be here every Thursday.
Okay, great.
At, not sure what time you start, but somewhere 5 or
7 p.m. Central. So if you're in Colorado, it's probably 6
There you go.
by you.
Right.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, I do appreciate you calling me, and thank you for letting us know some actual good news for a change. But this is another way to fight a lot of this crap that they're pulling on us. So, yes, indeed.
Right. Yep. Yeah. They're all liars. And the only way we can figure it out is if we go out there and do it ourselves.
Yep. Exactly.
Amen.
And there are people
Amen
doing
to
it.
that.
That's why I did this show tonight, because I wanted to prove that there literally are people, and I still think that we outnumber them. We just need to let them know. That's just keep letting them know. Keep growing.
Yes, ma'am. Yep. Keep growing. Keep spreading the word. It's the only way we can even, it's the only way we are where we are right now.
Yep.
And we can gain so much more because, America's been severely disappointed by the Biden administration, and there's only one way to bring all those disappointed people over here is to step up and say, look, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care what, you're gay, okay. Jesus is over here, and we can all stand together and help each other. And it's way better than Marxism.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
So,
yep.
That's what it is. All right, sister, I'm going to let you go.
All
Give
right.
someone else a chance.
Okay,
All
thanks
right.
for calling.
Love you.
God bless.
God bless.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Amen.
Good night.
Yep. Bye.
All right, great caller. Thank you so much for letting us know about all of that, Space Cowboy. I'll make sure to always say hello to you when I see you in the chats around. I know that you hang out at 451 Actual's show as well. Thank you, Space Pirate Yvonne. You get one of these. I appreciate the donation. Thank you so very much. Let's see. All right, we were talking about these people that actually are fighting back against this and are actually claiming things about this. We were talking about this when the phone call came through. We were in the middle of listening to this one drag queen. Now, like I say, this person you see on the screen also plays the Hagatha character, I believe, with the weird like the balding head, and they put the makeup on real bad, like they're real bad at it, or they can't see, or something, like an old lady, and the lipstick that goes down here and everything like that. And that's their comedy act. This person is an actor. They were talking about they can't figure out what people think that drag queens have done that are so amazing that you have to absolutely adore them and love them. Of course, this just goes to show you that that's what they're being told to do, and a lot of people are doing it out of fear of being canceled for not doing it. But there are some people that think that this is the thing. And of course, you can tell what they watch and what they're paying attention to.
Would you want a stripper or a porn star to influence your child? It makes no sense at all. A drag queen performs in a nightclub for adults.
Thank you. This is what I've been saying. This is what the alphabet community does not want you to hear from the mouth of a drag queen. Why do you want them to influence your kids? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with this drag...
Oh, sorry about that, Space Pirate. All right, thank you for the donation. You get one of these. Oops, wrong button. And he says, sheet! $5 doesn't get a read. How about a tenner? Keep letting them know, pay it forward. Okay. I've got a bad habit about that. I think about I want to acknowledge that you sent the money, but yeah, like, keep letting them know, pay it forward. Indeed. I try to do that, and of course that's why I do the show. I'm hoping that soon. I don't know how soon, but my plan is because some things do come to an end, and I'm seeing it slowly come to an end when I do some of the gospel stuff. Maybe, I don't know. You never know. We might actually grow and explode, but my dad's not going to be doing it too much longer. But I'm actually hoping to do another live feed sometime soon, like a Monday afternoon or maybe a Tuesday afternoon or something like that. All right. Thank you for being so nice. Yvonne is a gorilla despite what Fogg says. I love you all, crazy berserkers. That's what Space Cowboy just posted on the chat. All right, where were we? Okay, let me see if this is... Okay, this was another one. I don't think that this person right here could have put... I don't think anybody could have put it any better than this person right here. Not this guy, but the guy that he's fixing to feature. Oh, Lizzie Longtoes! Thank you so much for the donation. You get one of these. She says, Space Pirate Yvonne, it's because you're not famous like me, Keck. Yeah, you gotta get salty to mention your name more often, I guess. All right. Actually, I knew about Lizzie Longtoes because I was watching Salty a lot longer before I knew any of y'all's names. He used to mention her 4 or 5 times a show. I was like, wow, who is this Lizzie Longtoes? She must be really awesome. Because I could never get him to even read my quotes right. I'd write him something and send him $10, and he would read through it like as if it was somebody he didn't really care about. I was like, dude, really? Didn't even pronounce my name right. So I said, oh, fuck it, I'll just listen. Anyway, thank you, Space Pirate Yvonne. You get another one of these. Says, what other people think about me is none of my business. Yes, indeed. Although sometimes they make it your business. All right, let's go on. Again, people fighting against this, people that are disagreeing with this. I'm hoping that it gets... Well, I'll talk about it in a minute.
Trans women are women. What are your thoughts?
Trans women are trans women. That's not said disrespectfully, because my era, we were transvestites, drag queens, you're a man in a dress. We fought to have the title of trans women. Respectfully, trans men are trans men. That is not even a disrespect. It's this younger, new generation, Z crazy, that is not enough for. But let me just break something down to y'all real simple. If a woman is a social construct and we're emulating women, what would that make us? Social construction workers? It's like you just pandering for the women. No, I know what a woman is. Woman is Mother Earth. We all came through the birth canal of a woman. We keep trying to dismiss women. You cannot dismiss a woman.
Right. So we're going to accuse this trans woman who is speaking facts of being transphobic.
She's right, though. You can't. And if you're going to emulate a woman, you better know what one is. That's all there is to it. It's just that simple. It really is. My biggest problem with this is that they make it so complicated. And then they want to sit there and point their fingers at you and lecture you about this and that and the other thing as they make it up as they go. And it's like, no, you're welcome to have any fantasy. You're welcome to do anything you want to do. Well, leave us out of it, and don't you dare touch our children. That's, you know, we're not a collective. You're not going to be able to change people into trying to turn us into a collective either. Let's see. I'm your ninja. Welcome to the show, and thank you for the donation. You get one of these. Do appreciate that. Y'all having a contest out there? Keep it coming. Every dime goes right back into what I'm doing here. Like I say, I'm saving up now for a new computer so that I can actually expand to do a stream over there on pill.net as well. Want to continue to grow. And of course, I want to make the show better for you. I'd like to be able to spend more time on it too. If I'm fed well and I don't have to go out to work more, I can do that. But thank you so much for the donation so far, and even the library coins, because that actually keeps me on here. I can actually charge more, and I guess does that actually get more attention the more money you put onto one of these videos or something like that? Because I've actually been able to start putting $20 on it, or 20 whatever the dollars are, the library dollars or whatever. Well, thank you. Drunken Rocky says he's broke. I know, man. Library coins cool though too. I appreciate that. Thank you, Adam. Space Pirate Ivan, thank you so very much. Another donation from Space Pirate Ivan. Y'all should actually want to like beat him or something, shouldn't you? Thank you, Zero Die Loser. Appreciate that, and welcome to the show. Just noticed you're there. You get one of those too. Thank you. Appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Excuse me. All right. So, now I think the last one I wanted to show you on this one was a 12-year-old boy. This to me is wrong, and this is another thing I say: stay away from our kids with it. But this to me was wrong. But I'm glad he called them out. Oh, before I start that, thank you, Lizzie Longtoes. Appreciate that. Thank you so very much for the donations. All right. This kid is going places if they don't start treating him like Donald Trump.
The 7th grade at Nichols Middle School. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. I never thought that the shirt I wore to school on March 21st would lead me to speak with you today. On that Tuesday morning, I was taken out of gym class to sit down with 2 adults for what turned out to be a very uncomfortable talk. I was told that people were complaining about the words on my shirt, that my shirt was making some students feel unsafe. Yes, words on a shirt made people feel unsafe. They told me that I wasn't in trouble, but it sure felt like I was. I was told that I would need to remove my shirt before I could return to class. When I nicely told them that I didn't want to do that, they called my father. Thankfully, my dad supported me.
He wasn't in trouble, but they were going to punish him anyway.
What did my shirt say? 5 simple words. There are only 2 genders. Nothing harmful, nothing threatening. Just a statement I believe to be a fact. I have been told that my shirt was targeting a protected class. Who is this protected class? Are their feelings more important than my rights? I don't complain when I see pride flags and diversity posters hung throughout the school. Do you know why? Because others have a right to their beliefs just as I do. Not one person, staff, or student told me that they were bothered by what I was wearing. Actually, just the opposite. Several kids told me that they supported my actions and that they wanted one too. I was told that the shirt was a disruption to learning. No one got up and stormed out of class. No one burst into tears. I'm sure I would have noticed if they had. I experience disruptions to my learning every day. Kids acting out in class are a disruption, yet nothing is done. Why do the rules apply to one yet not another? I feel like these adults were telling me that it wasn't okay for me to have an opposing view. Their arguments.
That right there is the problem. That right there is the problem. Why? And that's what's, and it's actually causing that problem. The things that they're doing are actually causing that problem. Why is it okay for them and not for somebody else? Why are you not equal this way? And you got a 12-year-old asking this. These people notice. You don't have to be a brain surgeon to notice this stuff. And especially when they lied to him and said, oh, it just caused such a disruption. Well, the only disruption was them taking him out of class and giving him a talking to and making him take it off. That's the only distraction I saw. That's the only distraction he saw. He's got kids that agree with him. You know, I have nephews about his age. They all agree with him. They hate this. Space Pirate Yvonne, thank you so very much for the donation. You're on a roll tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, and thank you for the library coin. I appreciate that. You're great, dude. You guys all are awesome. You guys are the best audience on the internet that I know of. Probably the only ones I'll ever know of. That's fine too. You guys, I couldn't ask for better followers. I couldn't ask for better audience. I couldn't ask for better people to hang with and to be there for us and to come together to do all of these things that we need to do. We need to at least be together on some of this stuff. Let's finish and let's hear what else this 12-year-old boy has to say.
Weak, in my opinion. I didn't go to school that day to hurt feelings or cause trouble. I have learned a lot from this experience. I learned that a lot of other students share my view. I learned that adults don't always do the right thing or make the right decisions. I know that I have a right to wear the shirt with those 5 words. Even at 12 years old, I have my own political opinions, and I have a right to express those opinions. Even at school, this right is called the First Amendment to the Constitution.
Especially at school. This 12-year-old understands the Constitution better than some of the people in office do. Have you heard some of the explanations that come even out of the latest Supreme Court judge? This kid knows the Constitution, or at least the First Amendment, better than one of our constitutional judges? That's sad. But, again, I'm hoping that this is hope for the future and that he's going places. Maybe he'll become one of the next constitutional judges.
I hope in being here tonight is to bring the school committee's attention to this issue. I hope that you will speak up for the rest of us so we can express ourselves without being pulled out of class. Next time it may not only be me. There might be more students that decide to speak out. Thank you for your time and good night.
Not to mention polite. What a polite young man. Appreciate that. All right. Woo-hoo. So, all right. So, a lot of these posts, and they're going to be posted after I finish the live show. If you want to take some of these posts, let's try and make them go viral. Okay? And actually, there were a few people that actually posted on here what they noticed about most of the videos that I posted on here, except for, like, I think 1, maybe 2. So, yeah, you got it. It was rather funny, too, because they were literally the only ones that were coming across my feed, as far as that goes, when I was watching videos the other day, nursing my headache. So I thought, wow, you know, and the thing is why can't we come together with those folks? They you know, but that also proves that a lot of folks are a lot more alike than they are different, which is what our leaders and powers that be are trying to convince everybody of, so that they can control us. See that little group over there? They hate you. You got to go get them before they get you. And that's how they do this. And then they give special privileges to one group and not others, or take away those privileges from the other group. And then you got kids like this asking the questions, hey, how come we're not equal like you keep telling us we're supposed to be? All right. So, yeah, like I say, make some duos, spread these videos around, make this stuff go viral, and let people know, let the majority of our people know that they're not alone in this. And we don't have to put up with those people. We can tolerate them, and they can do whatever it is that they want to. But I put my foot down when they start demanding things of me, or taking away my rights because of it. especially as a female, that our species, if you will, has fought for the last 100 years to have our own spaces. So, not to mention the fact that, a lot of these people also, too, compare themselves to the folks that were slaves and all that, the people that, well, I was going to say, Chappelle said it the right way. He when he met that one trans person, and they were saying, "Oh, you just don't know how many years we've suffered," or anything like that. And he looked at the person's black bodyguard and said, "Would you like to tell her?" There's no excuse. None. No excuse for that. Okay. And again, like I say, I hope there gets to be even more people against this wokeness, and they keep coming out and talking about it and going against it, because it really is hurting a lot of people, in my opinion, especially those who really need the help the most, the ones that actually do have the dysphorias, the ones that actually do have the mental problems. In fact, TJ from Odin's Men, he portrays this young man that idolizes DM, and really wants his attention. Doesn't seem like he's ever gotten his attention, but he's done TikToks and things like that. And he's literally gone out at the influence of DM and has had the bottom surgery and has gone through all of these other things. And just, you can tell by the way that this person talks that they're just really, really lonely. They're really, really sad. They feel like that this was the only way that they could start getting any kind of attention or love or any of that other stuff. And they still, when they do their video, they always use his name. They always call him out, always say, "Oh, you're my idol. I wish you could meet me. I wish you could come to my birthday party. I'm going to have this." And nothing. You never hear any response. I don't even think Dylan knows that this person is alive. But it's a very sad person. If you watched Odin's Men, if you watch TJ on Odin's Men, I think you know who I'm talking about. And of course, the unfortunate part about it is the poor person. Not only have they had all the operations and all that other stuff, which I would like to know how they paid for that. They seem to live in a little hovel somewhere. But didn't help the male pattern balding or anything like that. And it didn't help. He didn't get any of the facial or any of that other stuff. He just went ahead and had bottom surgery, and is on hormones or whatever like that. But this person is constantly begging Dylan Mulvaney to pay attention to him and saying, "Hey, you inspired me to do all of this," and everything like that. Like I say, if you watch TJ of Odin's Men, you'll probably have seen that poor person. All right, here's on to things I loved this week. Of course, everybody, the big topic still is Tucker Carlson and the fact that he got off of they kicked him off of Fox News and all of that, probably mainly because of the fact that he's not going to just bash Trump, and Fox News has decided, or supposedly Rupert Murdoch, this is how I'm taking it anyway, supposedly Rupert Murdoch decided that Fox News was not going to have absolutely anything to do with Trump this time around, and Tucker Carlson pretty much has seen the light, came out and said, "Hey man, I'm not gonna shill for this stuff that I don't believe in anymore." Not to mention the fact that they keep saying that they keep pulling all this stuff out that they think is going to hurt him, and it just makes him bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. He is, I guess you could say, news media's or cable news or cable TV's Trump, if you will, based on the fact that they're trying real hard to silence him and make people hate him. Another premise, again, I have to ask the question, why is it that side over there will practically canonize their criminals, allow them to do anything that they want, but they expect us to hate our criminals or the people that they try to criminalize for us? It's never going to work that way. It's never going to work that way. But this is there was a bunch of clips, but this is the one, this was my favorite.
You know what? I'm not qualified on that score, I will say. I thought his girlfriend was kind of yummy. Just kidding.
They put an eye makeup filter on him.
The bird. Yeah, the bird.
The bird is the satellite.
Hey, media matters for America. Go fuck yourself. That's the first.
It took me a while, but I found the uncensored version of that, and I absolutely love it. In fact, I don't know. I might use it as a cover something on another video that I do or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things this week. Another one of my favorite things this week, and these people always end up giving themselves up. I don't understand why they hire these young kids. And these kids right here were the first ones to get up and say, y'all think we're stupid, y'all think we're dumb, y'all think this, and we don't like you because you're slapping us around and blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, so listen to what this kid says. And this is another reason why we're in the predicament that we're in.
I've criticized like Democrats, like specifically Hakeem Jeffries, and it all just went out. Like I started losing followers. Like it's bad, right? And I really want to be that person that like reaches the other side because Democrats, I mean,
oh sure you do.
They're horrible at their jobs, right? They do a lot of shitty things. Although I'll vote for them all the time.
Therein lies your problem. They're going to tell you that, oh, the least of the two evils, but he admitted it right there without talking about the other side at all. Saying, oh, the Democrats are shit, but I'm going to vote for them anyway. Well, you're the problem then, aren't you? You idiot. But that's what I say. These guys got on originally talking about, oh, Republicans don't like us and we don't like Republicans because they think we're stupid and all that. But he knew he fucked up. Watch.
But it's also hard in the space to criticize them.
That's a good, can we clip that quote? They're horrible
please
at
don't.
jobs.
Please
They do shitty things.
don't please don't clip that. Please, no, please. I've actually done it before.
Please don't clip that. Oh shit, I made a mistake. Well, guess what? You just ruined your act, which was an act. They keep saying, and in fact, they came right out and said when they got found out as Democratic shills, they're getting their corporation or their companies getting paid money directly from the Democrats. So. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. I don't want to go over too far. Now, this is a spoof. But this is another... This is actually a spoof on a true story. But this guy actually did do this. I've only got 2 more things to show you, so... I know some of you are wanting to head over to Rockies. That's okay. I'm just gonna finish off. I gotta finish the show. I gotta end the show. And besides, you guys gotta see something funny before the night's out. There have been a few funny things, but I always like to end the night funny. So Patel is an absolute savage. Supposedly, this guy owns a 7-Eleven in Austin and has problems with homeless people. So this was his remedy.
The owner said the city of Austin isn't doing enough to keep people from soliciting and leaving items on his property.
Check it. Patel is the owner of this 7-Eleven at the intersection of East Old Torf and Park Lane.
I play the music 24/7 because fuck them. That's why. Fuck them.
Patel says this comes as there's been issues with the homeless encampment next door.
These motherfuckers. Take a big whiff. Take a smell. Take a smell right now. You smell it? Shit. You know where the shit is from?
I don't know who's
from
laughing.
These motherfuckers. They're shitting everywhere around here. Everywhere around here is shit.
He says this music hopes to act as a deterrent.
Deterrent? No, I hope it fucking drives them crazy. Fuck these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers. Fuck these motherfuckers. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? I say fuck them.
Salem stays at the homeless encampment.
I can hear it all night. I can hear it during the day. I mean, if I want to go take a shit in peace, I gotta go way over there.
Patel says since he started playing the music, he has noticed a change.
All the customers, they come into me and they say, thank you, Mr. Patel. Because they hate these motherfuckers too. Knock, knock, may I have $1? Knock, knock. Can I have 50 cents?
The 7-Eleven
Now, like I say, that was a spoof on it, but he actually did do that. The homeless lady actually said that there was no problem with it. They hear it a lot and they have to go away from it sometimes because it is kind of loud and everything. But there's been no real problems about it and everything like that. All right, one more. This right here supposedly for children, but I think they should rethink this. I really do.
John, what are you doing there?
Well, I'm clapping my hands.
Well, that looks like fun.
It is fun. You should try it, Levi.
All right, I'll try it. How's it go?
It goes like this. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. Who's got the clap? I do.
Well, that looks like a lot of fun. I want the clap, too.
It's really easy. Anyone can get the clap. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. Who wants the clap? I do.
Now you guys, wait a minute. I want the clap too. Now it goes jeepers. I want the clap too.
We've got the clap and we're giving it to you. We've got the clap and we're giving it to you. We've got the clap and we're giving it to you. Who's got the clap? We do. Yeah.
Well, don't give it to me. Like I say, that's supposed to be for kids, but I don't think somebody thought that through too well. So I just thought that I would share that with you. I want to know who did this.
The Fresh Maker.
Who did that? All right. Rock Candy, welcome to the show. You're a little bit late, but that's okay. I'm actually about to sign off. That's about it for me right now. Don't forget to support all the folks on Rougaroo's interactive TV guide. Rougaroo, Oomtown, and Not Me Bee. Make sure to support everybody over there, even if it's just sharing all of their work. And be sure to head on over to the Drunken Rocky. I know a few of you already have. On Odysee next. Let me know if you want me to cover anything or if you want me to show you anything. Please make sure it's not something that's going to get me kicked off of YouTube. But then again, I don't really care. I consider it a badge of honor. They've done it a few times, but it's no big deal so far. I'm going to bug them until they just kick me off completely. Because they've never monetized me, and they don't help me ever grow or anything like that. I've grown bigger on Rumble since I've been on Rumble than I have ever on YouTube. And I've been on YouTube way longer. Actually, to be honest with you, I've grown more on Rumble than I have on Odysee. Y'all need to pick up the pace over here. And I've been on Odysee longer, too. Thank you for the library coin there, Adam. Appreciate that. Don't forget to send me your clips, my clips, if you got a commercial for me or something like that or whatever like that. And I wish you all peace, love, health, and music always. Until next time, AMF.